Welcome to the Lead Pedal Podcast with your host, Bruce Outridge, where he talks all things trucking. Now let's get rolling.
Hello, welcome to Lead Pedal Podcast. I'm your host, Bruce Outridge. This is episode number 970. And today we're going to talk about lease-to-own programs, whether you want to get into one or why you should be in one. Who knows? We'll talk about it right after this. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, you've heard of Rosedale Transport. Well, you know, they've got tons of opportunities for you no matter what you want to do. You know what? It doesn't matter what terminal, because they have terminals all across North America, and they are looking for owner-operators, truck drivers, and other team members that might be of interest. The best way to find out all the information about Rosedale, the history of a 50-year company that's stable and rock solid in the industry, is to go to rosedalegroup.com. That's right, just go to rosedalegroup.com, and you can see all the opportunities. Look under the careers tab. You'll see what's available. You'll see they've got 800 employees, 2,500 happy clients, 15 offices, and 50 years of trust. And when you get there and you talk to them and you say, hey, you know what, I want to be part of your team, make sure you tell them that you heard about it from the Lead Pedal Podcast. All right, rosedalegroup.com. Tell them we sent you. Bye. All right, so lease-to-own programs have been around for a long time. We've called them the Never Never plan or the Always Always plan or whatever plan you want to call them. A number of companies had them in the past, some good, some bad, some indifferent. And today I thought we would just talk about it. I met up with our friend Kevin Awde, who's at Scotlynn. And Scotlynn is probably one of the few that have been successful with this owner-operator lease program. And so, first of all, before we get into that, what is an owner-operator lease program? This is the kind of thing that we probably need to talk about first. First of all, it's a program where you get hired by a company. You're a driver. You don't have a truck. You get hired by a company. They put you on. They create an agreement with you where they put you usually into a new truck, although I've seen people go into old trucks before. They put you into a new truck, fairly new truck, and then you drive on down the road and you begin operating as though you're an owner-operator. Now, this is different than Driver Inc., where you're not a lease program, you're not working as an owner-operator, you're just incorporated, but they give you the truck, they pay your fuel, they do all of that. When you go into a lease program, you are running like a true owner-operator where you actually have to pay for your fuel and you have to pay for your maintenance and pay a truck payment and all of those kind of things that go into owning a truck. The benefit of a lease program, for the most part, is for people who don't have the down payment for a truck or don't have the ability to get a truck right out of the gate, can get into working for a truck. So there's lots of things that there's a few companies that have them. I'm not going to say any company names other than Scotlynn, and you're going to hear from Kevin in an interview we do later on in the episode. But there are a few that work with it. So here's basically you have to be hired by the company. You have to have a proven track record for being safe and being compliant. You must be willing to usually run Canada and the United States, depending on the carrier you work for. And you must be able to participate in a business skill for owner-operators seminar. And this one company that does that. Not all companies do that. There's a probationary period like everybody else, and it's usually 90 days. And then you must record your financial results and see where you are. And so this company here kind of monitors you to see how you're doing with it. So what are some of the benefits? What are the benefits of becoming a lease program operator? First of all, zero down payment, 24-hour maintenance support, fuel pricing and rebates, paid licensing, fleet insurance. They do all of that for you. Satellite electronic logs. Most companies have that. Leading pay packages and peace of mind, so they say. So that's some of the benefits. Now, here's the hurdles that we've heard many times. I don't know how many times I've heard drivers go, I lost my shirt on that program. And a lot of times it's because they've bought into the program not realizing what they were actually getting into. Not everybody is set to be an owner-operator. It is a different ball of wax. There's a reason that I don't suggest to be. I did it right out of the gate. I got my license and I became an owner-operator for 2 years with a friend of mine. We were partners. He was the experienced one. We still didn't do very well, and that was in the moving industry. And I got out of it after 2 years because we had an old truck and the whole bit. I've seen it done very well, and I've seen it not work very well. And there's companies that they're not around anymore, but they used to be known for their lease program, and everybody knew to stay away. That's what they were known for. A lot of drivers will, like I say, will come and say they've lost a lot of money, and what they're realizing is they've paid to be a truck driver instead of being paid to be a truck driver. They've paid to be a truck driver, which means they've paid for a truck and paid all of that stuff, and then they walk away from the company. And so now they're stuck, right? They can't get their money back. They don't get the truck. They don't get to take the truck with them. So for the most part, I usually suggest if people are have the funds, if you have the down payment for a truck, that you buy your truck independently and sign on as an owner-operator. At least this way, if something goes wrong with the company, you have a place to go. Now, that being said, it's not always possible, and it doesn't mean there's something wrong with the lease program just because somebody didn't do well. They actually may have been okay. They just are not good business people. I can tell you not everybody is a good business person, no matter what you do, right? So you have to be a certain kind of person for that. And so we're going to find out about a lease program here. I can tell you that you should suggest, if you're going to get into this, you have to be able to give it at least a 5-year commitment. If you walk away underneath that, then yeah, you probably are losing some money. And like I say, you've paid for a job. Really read the fine print and have possibly a lawyer read it to make sure you understand. Make sure you understand what you're getting into. That's probably got to be the biggest thing, because a lot of people get into this, and if you've been a truck driver for a while, but you've been a company driver where everything's been paid for you, you probably don't realize a lot of the stuff in the background that goes on to being a business owner. And those things, a lot of the companies will do stuff like that for you, like your fuel tax and all that, but there's a lot of tax stuff that you have to do, a lot of reporting that you're responsible for, and a lot of costs that you're responsible for. And if you're not managing that and wondering how to do things better, you might just be in trouble doing that. So find that out. But let's get into, we'll come back right after this, and we'll be in, we saw Kevin Awde, who's with Scotlynn. We met him on the floor at a recent job fair. I've seen Kevin many times over the years, talked to him many times over the years, and wanted to find out what he had to say about being an owner-operator, lease purchase owner-operator with Scotlynn. Stay tuned. Hey drivers, are you getting tired of trying to update that old PDF paper resume that you have? You want to apply to different companies. Maybe you want to show off some of the stuff you've had, like the trucks you've driven or pictures or whatever. You know what? You can't do that on a resume anymore, but you can do that at Driver Verified. Driver Verified is a platform that allows you to create your own unique profile and share your expertise easily with potential employers, insurance companies, anybody that you wish. This thing is so slick. You'll be able to update it. It's free to try. And you know what? Now you've got something that can be updated. You don't have to go back and wonder, where did you put that paper copy? The cool thing is companies can get this as well. And you know what? One of the best ways to be find new employment and find things that are really cool for you is by a company searching you out as opposed to you searching out a company. So why not try Driver Verified today? All you got to do is go to driververified.com and give it a try. It's free to try. You can create a free profile, and you can even get a free report. And by the way, if you were talking to the team over at Driver Verified, make sure you tell them that the Lead Pedal podcast sent you. All right, everybody. Talk to you soon. See ya. Kevin from Scotlynn, how we doing today?
Good. How are you, Bruce?
He took off his glasses and everything. He's trying to look like he's on a TV show. So I wanted to talk about your what are you guys calling it? I won't say what we'd called it in the industry before, but it's like a lease to own program.
It's a lease to own program. Yeah. Drivers can get into one of our Peterbilts or Kenworths with no money down. We give them everything they need: the permits, insurance, everything's paid for by the company. We provide them with fuel cards. We even have a maintenance program so that drivers don't have to worry about repairs. And within 5 to 7 years, if they complete the lease program, they own the truck.
Okay, so they're able to pay that truck off in 7 years?
Yeah. We have several drivers that every 3 or 4 years they just upgrade into a new one.
Okay.
We take the equity that they have in the first truck and we transfer it over to their new truck. We've had drivers with us for 20 years that just keep doing that. They keep upgrading their equipment so they have less downtime and they can keep rolling.
You are probably the only company I know, because I've been driving since the 80s, so there was a lot of these programs. You're the only ones that I think are still doing it and successful at it. So what's the secret?
I think the secret is the way we do it. Like I said, we have a maintenance program which we brought in. The drivers give us back 7 cents per mile, and that covers all their maintenance costs, so they don't have to worry about tires, oil changes, anything. So it takes the worry away from the lease operator. Plus, we have a support program in office for them to help them be successful.
All right. Okay. So now, has there been any issues with do you have new people? Is it brand new people you got going into that kind of a program?
Well, in the springtime, we'll generally take drivers that have at least 6 months experience, and sometimes we'll match them up with an experienced driver to kind of help them get on their way, and then we reevaluate them. And if they're good, if they've done everything and they're a safe driver, we'll let them go on their own at that point.
Okay, all right. Okay, so it sounds like a good program, because you're creating their maintenance escrow without them actually knowing it. They're just running down the road.
Yeah, exactly. It takes the worry away. So that was one of the big stumbling blocks, trying to convince the driver that this is the way to go for all the tax benefits and everything, was the concern about maintenance, but we've eliminated that with this maintenance program.
Now, this is, you've probably heard Driver Inc. is a big issue in the industry right now. This is not Driver Inc. This is totally different. They're getting a truck and the whole bit, right?
Yeah, you can be incorporated because you're leasing a truck. You're actually an incorporation. The Driver Inc. thing is a problem in the industry that there's trying to deal with, and they're starting to deal with it. But drivers that want to be an incorporation, they can still do it legally with us because they're actually leasing a vehicle.
Yeah, because they're going to be an owner-operator and running down the road that way. We've heard of some horror stories over the years. What do you suggest to somebody who's looking at the program? Because we always get these people who said, "Oh, I lost thousands of dollars because they quit too soon or they didn't understand the program." What do you want someone to know before they kind of sign up?
Well, really, the best thing you can do is talk to one of our drivers that's doing the program, because I know in the industry a lot of drivers have trust issues when it comes to recruiters not maybe telling them everything they need to know. So we always recommend they talk to one of our drivers, and then that generally gives them the confidence that we are telling the truth and that they can be successful.
Is it only for your long haul guys? I know you guys run Florida and California. Do they have to run there to be on that program? Or?
No, we right now we're expanding within Canada. We're running right now from Toronto to Cornwall and Quebec. We have drivers that are leasing units that are doing that. We're now hiring out of the Maritimes, out of Moncton. We're hiring out of Winnipeg, Regina, and Calgary. We got people right across the country doing this lease to own program.
Wow. Great. Well, listen, thank you for clearing that up, because I know there's always a lot of things. Where should people go to learn more about contacting you or the program?
Well, we have a fabulous website with all our opportunities are listed there, not just for drivers, but we're looking for load brokers, dispatchers, people for the accounting department. Okay. So our website's the best place to go to find out what's happening at Scotlynn.
Okay, great. Well, thanks again for your time. Hey folks, have you heard about Transrep? Well, there's a number of services that you may know of that name because they've been around for a while, but you may not know exactly what they do. Isn't that the way with all of us when we have many things on our plate? But let me tell you what Transrep does. Their services include merger and acquisition. So if you're trying to get your company ready for sale, they can help you with that. Consulting services, executive recruitment. Are you someone looking for a better opportunity? And they also help you with business development. Are you somebody trying to get your business going or get your business off the ground? You know, people say when they're going with Transrep, they're going because Transrep is committed to helping their clients reach their goals. They say that they're constantly striving to provide solutions, even for issues they aren't even aware of yet. That's right. Transrep knows when you need some help, even before you know it. They've got an experienced team and a large network which reaches across several sectors, and it's always growing. And they are highly confident in the promise to serve you better. That's right. They don't take their jobs lightly. They know that you need to be successful for them to be successful. So where can you learn about that, their events that they put on, and much, much more? The best place to go is to transrep.ca. Hey, and if you go over there and you're talking to the team over there, would you please let them know that the Lead Pedal Podcast sent you? Thanks very much, everybody. All right, so if you are thinking about being an owner-operator or being a lease purchase owner-operator, please do your homework. I don't suggest that anybody starts doing that right out of the gate. I think you need at least a couple years of knowing our industry and knowing what's going on before you get into that kind of work. Although there's some people who have, experienced through a family or something that has had trucks before and maybe ahead of somebody and may be able to do that. But please do your homework, know what you're doing. Don't think that you're going to buy a truck and then you're going to sit around at home. You're going to be ready to pay for that truck. Scotlynn has a lot of benefits to it, so I'm not promoting Scotlynn over somebody else, but their lease program has been one of the ones I've seen successful over the years, so you may want to try that and at least know what you're doing and what you're getting into. Hey, follow us on social. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can find us on TikTok, and you can find me on LinkedIn, and you can also download our Lead Pedal Media app, and we look forward to seeing you at some of the shows this year and hopefully on the road as a successful owner-operator. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later.
This has been another episode of the Lead Pedal Podcast. For more information or to subscribe to the podcast, visit theleadpedalpodcast.com and be sure to follow the podcast on Facebook and Twitter.